So where is group 8, 9, and 8, 9, 10, and 11? So we see how many groups we can do today. Okay, 8, 9. Okay, so by the way, your second assignment is due by end of this week, right? On Friday, Friday night. Okay, just like the first assignment. Okay, so that is just a quick reminder. Okay, and then yesterday the minister announced the conditional MCO. Okay, for many states, including Kedah as well. So, but I guess since you're already working or studying from home, so it doesn't really matter, you know. But for the universities, okay, maybe if we don't, the staff are not allowed to go to work, so I'll be streaming from my house starting from tomorrow then. Okay, but still, so class as usual, no changes whatsoever. Okay, so let's get on with the lecture then. Okay, so since the plan, okay, is to finish the whole discussion for the assignment for these 2 weeks. Okay, so meaning up to last week we had discussed until group 7. Okay, and I already took note of who actually okay, from the previous discussion. Okay, so those who did not take part or so those who did not took part, okay, or present, so you need to prepare for the, because we got 3 more assignments to go, 4 more assignments, okay, 3 the group 1, okay, and the final one assignment 5, okay, which okay, will be I mean you guys will be updated on the final format. Okay, so okay, so let's so where is group number 8? Can you switch on your camera? Kumpulan 8. So group 8, Najahan, Nurul Syahira, Chia, Nur Aisyah, and Chai, CEO Fern. Okay. Semua ada kan? Chia, Syahira, and lagi seorang. Okay. So there are 5 of you. Okay, so let me share my screen. So I think because we got 4 groups to go, and we have 1 more class. I mean, the plan is to do 2 weeks. So perhaps today we are only going to do for 2 groups, 8 and 9. Okay, and 10 and 11 we might do on Wednesday. Okay. Then if we finish our class, we might finish our class a bit earlier today. Okay, so that you can continue working on your assignment. Okay, and okay, so let me share my screen now. Oops. Okay, so this is group 8, right? Okay. So who wants to go for, I mean, who wants to siapa nak apa ni, who wants to go for group 8 before I call up the name at random?
Doctor, I start first.
Siapa? Chai Chai.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, Chai or Chia?
Chai.
Oh, ada 2 nama dekat-dekat Chai ya. Okay, 277335. Okay, good. Okay, so
I'm sorry, Doctor is Chai Xiufen.
oh, okay, sorry. 77. Okay, so okay. Let's see. Okay, so we are still on topic number 2. Okay, functions and their graphs. Okay, so I think by now, okay, since we have done 3 classes, okay, discussing quite a number of questions and solutions. So I think by now, okay, the take from, I mean, at the end of the day, as I mentioned, since this is most of what you are doing now, beside contributing to the assignment, is also considered as self-learning as well. Okay, because the nature of WebEx lecture and the nature of your assessment. Okay, for many papers, you don't have exams. Okay, the conventional exam, except maybe online quiz, okay, here and there. But as far as our subject is concerned, okay, we have no final exam or even mid-semester. All are replaced by 5 assignments. Okay, one what you are, so you have submitted 1. Okay, so 4 more to go. Okay, still plenty of assignments. Okay, but at the end of the day, the when okay, I decided. When we the lecturers for the teachers the subject teach the subject decide that one of the way to evaluate is by doing uh, this type of assignment. Okay, and hoping that okay for the last 3 classes you can actually see okay, how the quadratic functions, the linear functions, can is applied in the economics syllabus. Okay, especially subjects. I mean the examples that you have given so far. Okay, on finding the maximum point, the minimum point, using factorization or any other formula. Okay, and then the concept of equilibrium. Okay, so these are the concepts that you need to fully understand. Okay, so I'm not really so much into this. Of course, it's part of the syllabus. Okay, the domain function. So this is, of course, in terms of the before you can apply the concept. Okay, you need to understand the so-called formula or the roots of the where this equation comes from. Okay, but of course, as I mentioned, the focus is more on the applied. Okay, so I will pick up questions or solutions on example or notes. Okay, the one that is mostly related to applications. Okay, so let's get on with the. So this is from Tan. So this is purely theoretical. So okay, as usual, I will go for questions that has applied or application question. So this is from Tan, is it? So if you have been watching the news, yesterday, on Friday, okay, we had this presentation of budget. Okay, so as economic students, okay, you should take part or at least be aware what has been presented, okay, by the Minister of Finance. Here, and debate for the budget will take place sometime next week, okay, and we'll see whether the budget get passed or not, okay, because this is a very critical situation for not only Malaysia but many countries in the world. Okay, like this morning, the United States has already announced, okay, that Joe Biden, okay, has won the election. But of course, there's still a bit more of vote counting in process. But okay, take note of what is happening also. No need to follow too much into detail, but at least keep in mind, okay, what is happening and how that might affect, okay, our economy here in Malaysia in terms of because economic students is all about knowing, how politics affect the economy, okay. Even the budget that was presented on Friday, okay, most of the focus is on reviving the economy. Okay, there are a lot of unemployment, people being laid off. Okay, so you should look at because you are learning micro and macroeconomics this semester in terms of from your principle of economics. Okay, so when you don't just focus on how much bonus, how much allowance, how much e-wallet that you can get, okay, but also try to understand as much as possible what are the macro policies, what are the macroeconomic policies that will be affecting, okay, Malaysians, okay, in general, and maybe even your own family, okay, for that matter. Okay, so let me see. So this is on time also. Um, um, okay, wait, let me see. Okay, we're not really in a hurry here. Uh, so this is from Tan also, right? So we have TP. Oh, we have discussed this example before, right? In Chia, or is it Chai? Okay, Chai.
Chai.
Okay, I think we have discussed this example before in, I mean, in one of the classes, because I think this is from Tan, right? So that's the challenge, okay, because the later groups, they, because most of you rely many from Tan, okay, so at the end of the, uh, when we are approaching the, second week of the discussion, when most of you are relying on the same book, okay, so it's a bit, let me see. Mm, okay, can you discuss this example here?
Okay, from
Example 2.
from these questions, we know that the initial cost, which is fixed cost, is 850, and the variable cost is 3 per unit. So question A is we need to find the total cost in dollars. So the number of units is represent to the Q. So the answer A is we need to find the total cost, which is fixed cost plus the variable cost. So we find the function is 3Q plus 850. So next question, which is we need to find the how many units that are produced if the total cost is 100 600. So we know that the quantity is the 1600, so that we substitute this number into the Q. So we know that the so so we need to 3Q plus 850 equal to 1600. So we find that the Q, the unit is 250.
Okay, so basically this is, you are given the total cost and find the quantity that relates. Okay, so I will prefer this CQ plus F be changed, okay, in the, of course, I mean, this is just to highlight how we write in economics, okay. Usually we just use, okay, usually we put BC, okay, plus FC, okay. So variable cost plus fixed cost, okay. And this is equal to sign, so this would be DC, okay, total cost total cost equals to okay, so TC equals to VC plus FC. Okay, so at least you see you know what part of which part is variable cost, which part is fixed cost. So I mean, of course, this is just a simple notation, but it will be applied, okay, many times in your syllabus or in your study here. Okay, so total cost or C, but usually we put TC. Okay, total cost, variable cost plus fixed cost. So your variable cost, that's why you have the Q here. Okay, the quantity. Okay, and then the fixed cost is a constant. Okay, so that's why you have 850 as your okay, so basically you construct your equation based on this information. Okay, but this is just this example. So so I'm sure this is from the TAN. This is from TAN, is it? Or which author is this? Introduction to Mathematical Analysis. Chai?
Yeah.
Ini buku apa ni? Which book is this? Our book. I mean, we which author? I mean, because I don't remember the name or the title of the textbook, but we go by the author's name. Tan, Sid Sater, apa lagi tu? Hausler, Jacks, and whatnot. Okay. So which book is this from? I mean, which author this book is from?
And total, I don't know because this part is my other group member do this.
Yeah, but you guys as a group, you need to check, you know. So because because like from Tan, you mentioned Tan. So and then I'm not sure about the other okay materials that you. I mean, if Tan, of course, you start with the word with the name Tan. Okay, but other books that you are referring to, okay. So your other group members, who's the one that using that created that example from? I can see like most I think like 90% or even more from your example here are all mostly are based from Tan. So I'm not sure why you don't use other ebooks that I provided, okay, for your assignment. Okay, this is Tan also. This is Tan also. Tan. This is also from Tan, of course. So you need, okay, so your next assignment, make sure and then you mention the name of the author, just like what we have done so far. I think most other groups, okay, that we have discussed, they will show the apa tu, the author's name, okay, Sid Sater, Hausler, Jacks, or any other book lah. Okay, so I'm not sure which book is this because I don't really recall or remember the name of the title of the book. So siapa yang buat tu? Ha.
It's from Ernest Wood.
Apa dia?
Ernest F. What?
Which one? Which book are you using?
Ernest F. Hausler.
Hausler ni lah.
Yes.
Okay, so make sure in your next assignment put the author's name. Okay, Jacks, Hausler. We don't usually we just use the apa tu, the first name, sorry, or the surname, Hausler, Jacks, okay, Sid Sater, so Tan, Wali. So I given you a number of books, okay, and then make sure you start with the author's name, okay, with the surname or the first name, okay. So at least I know which book you are referring to. Okay, so this is I mean, so of course this is example, not question and solution, okay. But so although the book uses this format, okay, but just to take note, okay, so whenever you see a question on total cost, fixed cost, variable cost, so this is the more a proper way or a more accurate way to show the cost structure. Okay. So again, this is also from Tan. So I think, yeah, the challenge is when you rely solely, mostly on one book. Okay. So I'm not sure why you don't use the other books that I provided. This is also from Tan, pun Tan juga. I'm not saying that it's wrong, okay, but at the end of the day, it defeats the purpose of me providing multiple ebooks to you so that you have variety of style or questions and solutions, okay, and notes to refer to rather than, fully focusing on one source, okay. Because as I mentioned, Tan has not, it doesn't have many applied questions in the book, okay. So most of the Tan text content, the focus is more on the theoretical part, okay, not on the applied questions. Okay, example. But I think we have done this also. This is like question. Okay. Okay. Ada bahasa Malay ya, hasil kos, and keep it. So no need to write in Malay, okay, because the whole content should be consistent in English. So I think because when you copy and paste, okay, so make sure kapela nak tulis MR, I mean in bracket, hasil sud and whatnot, okay. So that's why, as I mentioned, be consistent in your presentation, okay. So when you compile section from each of your group member, okay, there should be one or two persons that should do the checking, okay, in terms of consistency in the presentation. Okay, so I think that is one of the few things that you need to take note lah when you combine your materials, okay. So because at the end of the day, the mark is given as a group, okay. So when one or two group members, okay, commit a mistake or did not submit, or I mean, at the end of the day, I see this thing as a group work, okay, not as individual work. So everybody need to take responsibility lah, okay, nak check consistency, and then okay. So this is which part is your question and answer? Because this is applied example. Chai,
Yeah.
Manas, which parts are your question and solution for the? I see most of these are examples, right? I mean, if I miss certain part, so this is okay. Like this one, this is question, okay. But I don't see a lot of questions here. Mostly are notes or example and solution. I mean examples, but not question, except for this one. Ada berapa soalan? I mean, how many questions on this topic that you have? I think I did mention in the instructions, right? Apa tu, apa? If you have more questions compared to your apa tu, notes lah kan? Or I mean, at least how many questions did I mention for the assignment? 5 eh? Betul tak? How many questions from the assignment punya instruction tu? Saya ingat lah. Okay, so I think this is 10 questions for each topic, meaning apa tu? Okay, so 10 questions kan for each topic. So meaning if you have okay, so I'm struggling to find which how many questions that you have total, because like this one I think that is one part where it becomes a bit confusing when you combine them into one section. Okay, as I mentioned for other groups as well, you need to separate section A and section B. Okay, section A, your notes and example, and then section B should be your question and solutions. So that I can see that you fulfill the 10 questions requirement for every topic, that for every chapter, okay, that you do. Okay, for the second assignment, the exponential, exponent and log, okay, there are not many subtopics, so but I still request 10 questions for each chapter, okay, or for each topic. Okay, so you need to show. So but I see here, because when you provide this, so I believe this is not the question and answer, because you copy and paste from the book. So I believe this is example, right? Mas Chai, can you show me which part is the question? Which page number? Okay, so this one I believe is question. Okay, satu, I mean only one here, and then I'm looking for this is example and solution. This is applied question to so this is also example kan? So this is not question. Okay, because I believe this is taken from the book as well. So I'm trying to find questions and solutions, which make the second part of your assignment. I mean the 10 questions that you need to. So this is also, I believe, is because you put here example. So I believe this is not question and answer. Okay, so this is also because you put the example. So I believe this is not. So when you put example one, is this example or this is question and solution? Okay, ke yang lain, ada group members? Because I don't see enough that many questions that is prepared here. Mostly okay, here, I mean, another one here. Okay, so I think I counted only 3 questions so far. Okay, theoretical question. So this is also question. This is example again. This is example. Okay, so I don't think you have enough questions. I mean, that 10 questions requirement. Mostly, I think here is example and solution, which is not. I mean, which is that one is part A. Okay, but part B, I think, as I showed just now, it will be 10 questions, right? Okay, for each topic. Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm struggling to find questions. And one more thing is because most of these are from the TAN textbook. Okay, except for this one. This is from Rosa, but this is also example and solution. Okay, I'm trying to find question and answer. Okay, so except for this one, this is okay. So I think we have done this also in the previous class for this example. Okay.
Dr. Shahira said that this was exercise. It's not. Example is wrong. Dia salah tulis. Example should be exercise.
Example lah, exercise. I mean, question and solution is, I mean, I think the instruction is clear, right? When you say example and solutions, okay, and then this one is question and answer. Okay, so when you put the example, then it's example lah, okay. So I'm not sure that's why, I mean, this could be the question, but because you put here is example, okay. So if from my point of view, this is example. This is not question and answer. Okay. Although you put here question, so that's why I'm asking now which part is question, which part is your solution, because as it stands, if this is still your example, meaning you don't achieve that 10 questions punya quota tu lah. I mean that the requirement that I put for the assignment. But if this is your question and solution, then a lot of your sections here macam ni lah, example. So I'm not sure which one is your example, which one is your questions, because I don't know. I mean, I don't refer to the book, so this is just to make sure that, okay, if I were to refer, so I know which part. But yeah, so I believe if 2.5, meaning this is exercise 2.5. So macam ni, there are other group members. Saya pun confused sekarang ni. Which one is your example? Which one is your solution? Because when you provide something like this, so I don't believe this is, so this is taken directly from the book, right? Because this is copy and paste technique. So not like you draw this manually. So that's why I believe this is your notes, okay? Or solution, example and solution, which is part from the first part of your assignment. Okay, yeah, and one more thing, because most of you come from TAN, so we discussed a lot of TAN before, and so like this one, example and solution. So I believe this is also your part A, okay. So only this one, question. When you put your question, then okay, again you have this yeah, so okay, so I think, yeah, let's discuss this last question here. Chai?
Yeah.
Yeah, question 36.
So from this question, we know that the monthly profit function is have given today. So how many units should be rent out that to find the maximum profit? So we know that so first we need to find the x. So we use the formula that has been given there is minus b over 2a. So we substitute the value into the formula, so we get the answer that is, and total, can you
Okay.
so we get the x number is 88. So x is represent the unit. So we find the 88 unit. So we have the 88 unit. So we can find the profit. So we substitute the 88 units into the formula in the x. So we can find the monthly profit, which is 20 20,440.
Okay. So basically, this is just using the vertex functions, formula negative b over 2a, and then you get I don't know why you put this dot here, this apa tu, this titik perpuluhan here, here. What do you have this dot x here? So I mean, yeah, I think the thing that you need to improve for the next assignment is again, the consistency in your presentation, and then variety of sources, okay, for your assignment. Okay, so uh, not just your group, okay, but for other groups as well. But I think in terms of presentation, I think you need to improve, okay, especially on the way you separate the question and solution. The question and also the notes part A and part B. Okay, so
Okay, sorry, doctor.
okay, and for example, like this one, when you copy and paste, do not copy when you put in the Word file. Okay, when you save as PDF, the image become a bit blurry like this. So I mean, okay, these are the things that you need to take note. Okay, for the okay, for your next for your next few several assignments. Okay, so because at the end of the day, we want the main thing is of course what can learn. Okay, but also uh, you know the skill of compiling and presenting your notes or your assignment in the most presentable way as possible. Okay. So yeah, I think so that's it for group 8. Okay, so thank you, Chai. Okay, for the other group members, okay, so please take note as well. So when you combine your materials for the second assignment, okay, make sure everyone is checking for not only for your part but also for other parts, your other friends' part as well. Okay, just to make sure that the consistency in the presentation style. You might be using one style, your friend another style, but at the end of the day, when you compile, okay, it should reflect as one complete package. Okay, so not okay, for example, like the question I asked us now, which book that is from? Okay, so make sure that you follow the example from other groups. Okay, that the goods, the positive part from other groups, you can follow lah. Okay, I'm not saying that. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so please, so group 9.
Thank you, doctor. Sorry,
Okay,
doctor.
okay, welcome. Okay, kumpulan 9. Okay, Tan Hui Ting, Nur Alia, Nur Syabila, Dunesha, okay, and Muhammad Fakrusi. Okay. Mana 5 orang? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, dia banyak sangat. I want the only male here, which is Fakrusi, to present, okay, for your group yang ke-9. Tak dengar suara Fakrusi? Pak Kursi, mana suara? Tak dengar? Tak dengar, saya tak dengar suara awak. I don't hear from your part, Pak Kursi.
Sir, his audio has some problem.
My audio or your, but I can hear
No,
Tan.
the Frakusi audio.
Pak Kursi, cuba check you can test your audio at the audio and video setting tu. Okay. Speaker and microphone setting, you can test your audio, you can speak and you can record and see whether you can hear your voice on your side. Okay. So that's one of the, I mean, the best way to check whether your audio is, you need to check your own audio before you, I mean, because you know that, I mean, for every group, okay, every group member must be, kena pastikan lah, you need to ensure that your audio is working, okay, regardless whether you are presenting or not, okay. So this is, I think, not only for my class, but any other classes that you have, okay, because it's difficult to participate when you have problem on your side lah. So tak dengar lagi Pak Kursi, suara? Tak dengar. Kamu, I think something wrong with your, if you speak then you can see the speaker, I mean the mute button, I mean the one on the bottom part of your screen. The green, the microphone punya icon tu should go up and down. Okay, so that indicates like your microphone is working lah. If it is not working, then it will just stay. Tak dengar Pak Kursi. So, okay. We can hear you on my side. Okay. So, Nur Alia, okay. Can you replace Pak Kursi? So kena reserve dulu. Simpan kamu pada session yang akan datang. Nur Alia?
Ya, doktor.
Boleh dengar ya? Okay. So Pak Kursi kena check your audio lepas ni. Okay. Something wrong on your headphone or whatever lah. Okay, sekejap. So Nur Alia kan?
Ya.
Okay. Okay, so again, functions and their graph. So the notes are, okay, so put this, okay. So put touch here a bit of, so this is part of your notes. Okay, so you got notes here. Okay, good. Okay, apply from Tan. Okay, ni pun jugalah, you all banyak sangat Tan ni. Okay, Tan. Tan ni pun Tan juga. Okay, Tan lagi. Okay, so applied exam. So do you separate or do you combine into one section? Your question and answer. Everything is, so this is example. Okay, so you put your questions at the end kan?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good lah. Then in that case, I will go straight to the questions. Okay, because I think if you rely on Tan for most part of your notes, again, okay, the notes and the notes actually, if you look at the components from your assignment, okay, the notes actually consist of 10%. Okay, here. Okay, so meaning that I want to see variety in terms of the sources from your examples, okay, not just from Tan, okay, because it's again, because as I mentioned, it should be around what saya pergi monitoring, apa tu, because I want most of the satu is the variety of sources lah. And then we want in terms of applied, okay, applied examples, okay, to theoretical and applied. And I think I did mention in the video when I prepared this. Okay, so we want more of the examples to be in the applied punya part, okay. So that's why it's important that you show a variety of sources, okay, so that you can see how the applications in the notes, okay, not just for the questions. Mana tadi dia punya notes. So this is, okay, this question. Okay, so this is theoretical. This is from Tan. Ini pun from Tan, PDA dah buat dah. This is also from Tan. Ini pun Tan. So, okay. Okay, penama Alia kan?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
This
Can you
question,
explain on this this one, the simple first?
okay. This question one demand function. So Q is a function of P. So that 0.5P move to find demand function of P. So 0.P is 0.5P equal 1200 minus Q. So we got the answer. We got the answer 2400 minus 2Q.
So what is the purpose of the so what do you understand by inverse demand function?
Inverse demand function, Q is a function of P.
Sorry?
So this Q is function of P. So we the question one answer in P. So we got the P equal to 400 minus 2Q.
Okay. So but I would prefer this question you don't copy and paste, because you can just simply type the question, right, rather than copy and paste here. Okay. Because if the question is you can type the question, I think you can type this one less than 1 minute. You can type this. So it looks more presentable rather than just you copy and paste, unless if the question is in the form of graph, okay, that requires a lot of difficult for you to type. Then okay, whenever possible, type the questions, okay, rather than copy and paste.
Okay, doctor.
Okay. So the inverse, okay, I think we have discussed this several times before. Okay, P as a function of quantity. Okay, and then the purpose of when you convert, okay, one reason is for you to calculate the total revenue, P times Q. Okay, so that will allow you to calculate, okay, the total revenue function when you multiply this by Q as well. Okay, so when you expand, you get, for example, the TR should be 2400Q minus 2Q square. Okay, so that will be one of the purpose of changing the demand function, okay, into its inverse form. Okay, P as a function of quantity. Okay, so I think this example was discussed in the previous group as well. You use the vertex, okay, punya formula tu negative B over 2A. Okay, and then you get the quantity. Okay, apa tu? Alia, okay, can you discuss this? Just
Okay, doctor.
wait. The one I think is a bit too simple. Ernest. I don't think this. Habis dah. Tan, this is Tan. This is Tan, this is one Tan. I think of all the 10 questions, I think 9 are from Tan, if I'm not mistaken, right? Tan, 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 Tan. Yeah, Rosa one. This is comes to 10. Okay, so 7, I think 7 questions are from Tan. Okay, 3 from the other book, Hausler, Scout, and this one is now, and Russell. Okay, so that again, okay, that shows that we still over reliance on the Tan textbook. Okay, 7 out of 10 questions are still from Tan. Okay, so I would like to see more variety in your next assignment as well. Okay, so out of 10 questions, maybe the maximum should be 2 questions from each book. Okay, and then because I provided you more than, I think, around 5 ebooks, I think, on your OL. Okay, I haven't seen anyone using Bali or even Seed Setter, tak banyak orang pakai. Okay, so please, again, this is because it will also affect the overall marks lah on your assignment. Okay, so I think the last, okay, Alia, a simple QD equals to QS.
Okay, this question one, the equilibrium price and quantity for the following market. So that formula one QD equal QS. So negative 20 plus 50 equals 220 minus 5t. So that we got 80 equals 240. So that price get 30. After that, we want to find the quantity. So we use the QD 220 minus 5. 30 we got the at price. So the answer we got we got 770. The price is 30 and quantity is 70. Yes.
Okay, so I think this is a simple, straightforward, simultaneous equation. Okay, QD equals to QS, and I'm sure as economic student, okay, you will see these functions here, okay, in your microeconomic syllabus. Okay, to find the equilibrium. I think in your topic 1 or topic 2 in your principle of economics. Okay, once you learn demand and supply, and then you need to calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, so by equating the two functions, okay, QD equals to QS. Okay, I think in our previous discussion from previous group, you can also have the demand and supply function in terms of the inverse, meaning P as a function of Q, as what you see here. Okay, so if your demand function is in terms of the inverse, okay, so meaning you will get the quantity first. Okay, but if you are using the normal demand function and supply function, when you equate QD equals to S, you are going to get the price first. Okay, so basically the process is still the same. Okay, but in terms of you will get the P first, and then because when you equate QD equals to QS, your unknown is of course the price, so that's why you get the price first lah. And then you can substitute P equals to 30 in either of the QS or QD, you will still get the same answer, which is 70. Okay, because here you are using the QD to substitute. Okay, you can also use your QS lah, okay, to substitute, and you will still end up getting 70 because this is a linear function. I mean, once you do simultaneous equation, any function that you substitute the value, you will still get the same quantity. Okay, so here you're using QD. Okay, you can also use QS. Okay, that gives you 70. Okay, so this might seem simple and straightforward. Okay, but I've seen students, okay, during exams still failing to calculate the QD and the P and Q, equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, although from this simple example it seems very simple and straightforward. Okay, but there are students which are quite weak in mathematics. They don't see why they need to do this. Okay, how do you solve simultaneous equation? Okay, you equate the two equation and find the unknown, which is in this case the price first lah, because your equation is in terms of Q as a function of P. Okay, so just to take note. Okay, so for those who are still unsure or still not clear why this is the way, okay, so just a simple simultaneous equation. So you equate and then you solve for one unknown, the price, and then you substitute into any of the function to get the quantity. Okay, so this is a simple straightforward solution from SCOUM textbook. Okay, but the rest, I think, because you are still using most of you are, the rest of the example I think we have discussed except for this one. But because this is not really an economics punya example lah, okay, it's more like a mathematics punya. Of course, this is applied, okay, but it has not much to do with economics punya issue lah. So I don't want to discuss this. I'm not saying it's wrong, okay, but it's just in the future, okay, use because when it comes to economics, quantity, demand, supply, price, cost, profit. So those are the things that you would like to use as your solutions lah. Example notes or the question and answer. Okay, so this type of question in the next assignments, try to avoid lah. Okay, because it doesn't really relate to economics punya issue. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Okay, for group 9, 10 and 11. 8 and 9. So 10 and 11, right? Okay. So that will be reserved for next Wednesday. Okay, and then please whatever comments that are given for each group, okay, you take the mana yang whatever is the plus side for every group, you take that as points or tips for you to improve on your following assignments. Okay, and then the weaknesses for every group from the beginning of last week. Okay, especially that's why I think if you go back to the instructions that I put in the assignment, okay, I did mention on the last part consistency and clarity. Okay, overall presentation of your assignment is important. So because that differentiate whether you can get a full 50 marks, okay, or 14 marks or 13 marks or whatever marks for each of the assignment, because the materials are already provided to you. Okay, so and there are 5 of you, most of the group have 5 members. So if you divide that according to, so each member only provide 3 to 4 pages long, and most of it are cut and paste. Okay, of course you can type a bit of the questions. Okay, so so do not rely on every member. So you need to coordinate lah. So coordination in terms of if you want to appoint one group member to do the overall checking, okay, of the overall layout, consistency, the font size. Okay, but one thing that I prefer, as I mentioned, separate your presentation, your assignment into 2 parts. Okay, part A, the example and notes and example. Okay, part B is the question and solution. Okay, so remember the next assignment, which is due this coming Friday. Okay, also 10 questions, and I would prefer at least the most 2 questions from each book. Okay, so if you find any other sources beside that 7 books that I provided, but I think 7 books is more than enough. Okay, no need. But if you still require other external sources from internet or Google or any materials, you need to include them in your file as well. Okay, but I think stick to the book that I've given you, because I think so far many of the groups rely on TAN a lot. Okay, which I think it just show that you don't really spend some time to dig and go through the other books as well. Okay, so you got 4 more assignments to go. The next 3 will be based on the notes. Okay, the last one, as I mentioned, is still work in progress. Okay, I will update you on the final format, the final requirement. Okay, for the 5th assignment. Okay, so I'm sure you've got many other assignments ongoing. Okay, not just my subject. Okay, so that's why I think if you can finish this one earlier and then do the final checking 2 or 3 days before the submission, and you can improve whatever comments, okay, that I given throughout the presentation. So the last group, 10 and 11, okay, stand by next Wednesday. So I hope issues like your audio, semua tu can be resolved before you start your session. Okay, so, kalau ada microphone problem ke, pergilah beli ya. Okay, you can always check your audio on the speaker and microphone setting on the audio and video punya tab in your WebEx. Okay, you click on that, you can test your audio and you can record. Or I think the worst case scenario, you can do a simple WebEx with your friend. Okay, or a Zoom. Kalau WebEx, can you guys become the host of your own session? Boleh ke? Can you set up your own WebEx meeting among your friends? Boleh ke, everyone?
Yes.
Meaning you can create your own WebEx meeting. Okay, so if that is the case, meaning you can always test your audio lah before you join. I mean, like official class like mine. Okay, because if you got problem with the audio and your internet connection, so yelah susah lah. Okay, when you want to participate. Okay, so I think that's it for today. We finished slightly earlier. Okay, so carry on with your assignment. Take note whatever. So I will post this video again in your YouTube. Okay, check your OL. I think I've updated the latest link from last week's lecture. Okay, so for the rest of the, okay, for the other 2 groups, stand by. Okay, so please do improve on whatever comments that I've made. Okay, thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum and okay, good morning.
Thank you, Dr.